Imagine for a second one of the most beautiful, most pristine marine environments left on our planet. Got it? Okay. Now imagine building a massive, state-of-the-art yacht marina right in the middle of it. Sounds ambitious, right? Maybe even a little crazy. But that's the exact vision for the Palau Yacht Marina. And how they plan to pull it off might just rewrite the rulebook for building in paradise.
So what's this all about? Well, at its heart, this is really a story of partnership. The idea is to take the kind of cutting-edge design and tech you see in a modern marina, like this one over in Taiwan, and carefully, very carefully, bring it to the stunning natural harbors of Palau. The goal is what they're calling a win-win, giving Palau's economy a huge boost with a world-class facility, while using global expertise to make sure its natural treasures stay protected.
So let's talk about the vision. What exactly are we looking at here? Well, the plan is for a really thoughtfully designed 50-berth marina. It's going to be built to host pretty much everything, from small local boats all the way up to 50-meter super yachts.
It's an incredible vision for sure, but you just have to take one look at this place and the challenge becomes crystal clear. I mean, how on earth do you build a massive modern engineering project in a spot this remote, this ecologically precious? That is the multi-million-dollar question.
And to answer that, you first have to get your head around what's called the Palau puzzle, a really unique set of obstacles and hidden costs that make building here totally different from anywhere else in the world.
Okay, so any builder here is basically up against four huge challenges. First, you've got logistics. Almost everything has to be imported, and the shipping schedules are, let's just say, unpredictable. Then there's a labor shortage. It's a small island nation, so you're heavily relying on foreign workers. You've also got incredibly strict environmental laws. Palau's Environmental Quality Protection Board has some of the highest standards on the planet. And finally, you can't just plug things in. The local power grid isn't always stable, so you have to bring your own solutions.
This is the big question, isn't it? Faced with all of these massive roadblocks, how do you actually move forward? How do you build a modern marina without destroying the very paradise that makes people want to visit in the first place? Well, the answer isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. And that brings us to the project's core strategy. It's an approach that's all about smart, preventative design, tailor-made to solve the unique challenges of building in Palau.
The key, the one single idea that makes this whole thing possible, is smart, modular design. Basically, instead of trying to build everything from scratch right there on the island, the plan is to build it somewhere else and just bring it in.
And here's what that actually looks like. The docks themselves are designed as these high-tech, prefabricated modules. They use this tough, recyclable polyethylene for the floats and marine-grade aluminum for the structure, so it's built to last. Then, these pieces are shipped to Palau all ready to be put together, kind of like giant high-tech Legos.
This modular approach just brilliantly solves all those hidden cost problems we talked about. The parts are built in factories in places like Taiwan, which solves the material shortage. They get shipped directly to the site, simplifying the logistics nightmare. The work on site is mostly just assembly, so you don't need a huge construction crew. And most importantly, it means you can use low-impact methods to install everything, which is absolutely crucial for protecting those fragile coral reefs.
Okay, so we have the problem and this really ingenious solution. Now for the practical questions. What's the price of paradise, and how long is this whole thing going to take?
The total estimated cost for the project is just over 1.8 billion new Taiwan dollars. That's roughly 60 million US dollars. And now that we understand just how complex this whole operation is, from the logistics to the environmental protections, that number starts to make a whole lot more sense. So where does all that money go? Well, a big chunk is for the marina itself and the buildings on shore, as you'd expect. But look at this. The largest single line item is for soft costs and logistics. That covers everything from shipping those giant Legos across the ocean to paying for those vital environmental impact assessments. It's a huge reminder that for a project like this, the planning is even more critical and more expensive than the actual construction.
And they are not wasting any time. Once the initial surveys get done in late 2026, this project moves fast. Getting permits, ordering materials, construction, and the final sign-offs are all planned to happen in about a year and a half. That's the real advantage of that modular design. You spend way less time dealing with unpredictable on-site work. Of course, a $60 million project on a tight schedule in one of the most sensitive locations on Earth, you better have a team that knows exactly what they're doing. So who is leading this ambitious charge?
The project is being led by a company called CHW Group, and trust me,
This is not their first rodeo. This right here is a render of another one of their big projects in Taiwan. They have direct, hands-on experience doing this exact kind of work.
And their credibility is rock solid. We're talking 15 years of experience, more than 470 projects under their belt, and a bunch of international design awards. They bring a proven track record to a project that absolutely demands it.
So, where does the project stand right now? It's moving from the drawing board into the real world. The very next move is to formally kick off that all-important environmental impact assessment. This is the moment where the promise to protect this pristine place goes from words on paper to a real plan of action.
And all of this leaves us with the big question at the very heart of the project. Can smart design and strategic planning truly build a sustainable paradise? This is a massive attempt to prove that you can add something incredible to a place like this without taking anything away. And for countless other precious locations around the globe, you can be sure the world will be watching to see if they pull it off.